Hi guys, Brant here, and welcome to another video. This isn't necessarily going to be a rant video, but I am going to be, in a sense, calling people out in the DBD community because I feel like there's a very, very big mentality that's being kind of like shown raw here, being exposed here. People are having very negative reactions to the 40 perk change overhaul that's coming in the mid-chapter, and the weird thing that I noticed that kind of brought up the need for me to make this video in my head was that I was seeing that a lot of killer mains are lamenting the upcoming changes. They said the game's going to become more survivor-sided than it ever has been before, but also the survivor mains are saying that the game is going to be made more killer-sided than ever has before, and both sides are kind of acting like this is like the end of the game. Like this is it's over, and they're going to have to quit playing before the mid-chapter patch because the opposing side is just going to be too OP and they're not going to be able to handle it. And I kind of had a hard time wrapping my brain around this. But then it kind of like dawned on me while I was thinking about it, that I feel like this comes down specifically to the perk changes themselves. And what I need to tell you, the big call out that I have to make is that, yeah, and this is no surprise to anyone, is most of this community really did crutch on perks and really had no skill whatsoever to contribute to their gameplay. And I feel like a lot of people are waking up and realizing that, oh my God, I actually don't know how to play this game. This game is incredibly easy, and somehow I have just supplanted all of my gameplay by using forced slowdown, by using a lot of exhaustion. I have never learned how to play this game properly. And now that they're nuking gameplay that requires zero thought and zero input from you, zero skill, I don't know what to do. I do not know how to succeed in an environment where I actually have to do skillful things, and the things that I do that are good have to be entirely attributed to me and my success. So just to break it down even further, to me firmly, let me look at you. Come here right now. Let me talk to you face to face here, and let me be as clear as I can be. All of these years that you would make it to the middle of a tile, and you would press E and you would dead hard, and you'd make it to that window, and you would drop that pallet, buddy, that's never been you. That has never, ever been you. That has been the perk. You are not skillful for doing that. You are not talented for doing that. All of these hours you have soaked into this game, all of that, instead of learning to play better, you used a crutch to get ahead, to get easy results, and now you're going to feel the pain come mid-chapter, and you know it. None of the dead hards you made to get to that window, to get to that pallet, were ever you. You did nothing there, and now you're feeling like nothing. And no, don't get me sideways here. Don't get me twisted. I'm looking at you, killer mains, as well. Every time you loaded up for slowdown, and you're like, wow, I'm winning a majority of my matches. You think just because you walked at a gen while Ruin was up that you were skillful? That you were doing something crazy? You think when Noed procced in the endgame and you got 2 kills, that was you? You did something skillful there? No. Homie, that was never you. That wasn't you. Those were your perks playing the game. Those were the perks playing the game for you. That was never your input, that was never your skill, and that was never your talent. Perks in this game have always been aggressively powerful. Aggressively powerful. Perks in most games are helpful. They're in addition to the gameplay. If you want to kind of more focus on something that's very niche, like I want to heal more, or I want to be more focused on chase, or I want to be focused more on having quicker chases as killer. Like most games have more of an aid aspect with perks, not DBD where the perks dictate the gameplay. And that has been and always will be, until it's fully, brought out of the game, a bad gameplay choice. It's bad for the game's health that perks dictate so much of the gameplay, and it's for this exact reason. And people have been calling this out for years. I've been calling this out for years. So many people who play this game and use these perks don't know how to play the game. Now, there's not a 1-to-1 ratio. Not everybody who uses Dead Hard is bad at the game. Not everybody who uses Ruin is bad at the game. There's no way to prove that. But by and large, there are a lot of people who use these things in a surplant of their skill. They don't want to learn the game. They don't want to play the game better. They can just want to slap on this perk call it a day and have it play the game for them, which is fine if you understood that it was the perk playing the game for you and it was not you at the driver's seat doing anything impressive, anything cool, anything worthwhile of any sort of celebration. And I feel like so many DBD players have been living in this big, huge delusion for all this time that, oh, well, this was literally me. Whenever I would hit that dead hard at the right moment, that was me. I was outplaying that killer. No, homie, you weren't. No, you weren't, buddy. And I'm sorry I have to break that to you. No, that was not you. That was a perk playing the game for you. And now that this 40 perk patch is really taking aim at lowering the power of perks in general and not making perk power so prevalent in the game, you're going to really have to focus on what you know and what you're capable of doing. And I think a lot of you know in your chest, which is why you're freaking out, you don't have what it takes to succeed in this game. You don't have what it takes to do well without a perk carrying you through the game. You don't. And I think that's scary for a lot of people. So I think that's why I'm seeing so much volatility, but equally like so much like, oh, well, the game's going to become so sided for the other side. And both sides seems to think that the game's going to suddenly become killer sided, or the game can't be both killer sided and survivor sided at the same time. One of these has to be the truth with the upcoming patch, but people are calling out both. People thinking that both are happening at the same time, even though that's not possible. And the reason I think that is because both sides are being put in a place where they no longer are going to be able as much. There will still be perks that they rely on too much, but to a much lesser extent, they will be expected to actually play the game and not solely rely on perks for their victory, for their success. And I think that scares a lot of people. So I think they're going to whine and wail and cry and outrage and pray that behavior doesn't put through the changes that have been desperately needed for this game for such a long time. And the rest of us we're kicking back. We're like, heck yeah, destroy Dead Hard, destroy NOED, who cares? These perks have been carrying games for people for far too long. Most people are happy with this patch because they know how much that like perk strength shouldn't be dictating the results of games. So we're happy. And I guarantee you most people that are upset and like hate this patch or are afraid of this patch, they're the ones that did do that did rely on Dead Hard to win all their chases, did rely on NOED to clean up endgame kills, that ran for a slowdown. All these people that have just you know, sucked the lifeblood out of the game by just crouching up on their perks and never having their success attributed to themselves. And now they have to learn. Now they have to fend for themselves. And I think they're scared, so they're lashing out and calling for everybody to like hate on the patch, to dislike the patch, and claiming objective thoughts that are truly subjective. So I think in the end, I mean, if we're gonna try to like put any of these thoughts into a concise ending here, a kind of a you know, a point to it all, I would say I'm happy for this. Good riddance to you. If you were one of those people who literally thought that because you dead-hearted a window, you're good at the game and you're doing something skillful and you are gonna quit because, oh man, I can't win the game for free anymore. You're toxic for this game. You made this game suck. You made this game unfun. So goodbye. See ya. We don't need you here anymore. This game has felt bad for reasons that are totally controllable and have been for a long time. And finally, thankfully, they're acting on those things. They're trying to make those things that are controllable now. And if you were one of those people that were trying to like cheese the system and cheese victories and cheese using your perks or your strat, like if you've been trying to cheese this game and crutching on your perks for a long time, your time's up. Your time is up. And I don't know. Good riddance. I guess there's no other way to say that. Just good riddance. Good riddance. Yeah, that's going to be it from this one today, guys. Thank you so much for watching today. Thank you so much for spending time with me. But I do upload daily. So I will see you tomorrow, friends. But if I don't, I will see you when I see you. Goodbye.